I see that recording and transcribing in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
That's a nice new feature.
The transcribe will be interesting, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. See what happens when it comes through. See how exact it is, or if it's Google Voice exact, or if it is actually Google Docs exact, which is spot on.
If it's Google Voice exact, we're in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, it's the founders log for October 2022, Carl. That's the previous month to November, which we're currently in.
Yeah, that's right.
just to clear that up for everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with my months now.
So you've been doing it for quite a while, a bit longer than me actually. You got a bit more experience on that.
That's right. Take my kids through it as well, just to refresh myself.
So back in October, we welcomed 360 Surveying and Building Solutions on board.
Yes, that's right.
And it is Building Solutions, not Business Solutions, which I accidentally typed into their Google Voice announcement. So it was actually announcing, welcome to 360 Surveying and Business Solutions, but they got changed this morning.
Yeah, that was a bit of a boob on your part. Yeah, they provide inspection services and then contracted work in the building insurance industry. It's a bit like crashing your car and then having that assessed and the work done. They do this for buildings that are damaged instead.
And they moved from Office 365 to Google Workspace so that they could have better communication and collaboration in the field, as well as the people at home and in the office.
That's right. Yeah, and they got themselves a new office back over in Birmingham, where I grew up, not far from where I was. My formative years over there in Sturchley.
You were rival schools, weren't you, with the owner?
Yeah, he's the same age as me. He went to my rival school. Yeah, it was funny. We were having a good chat about that because we've been obviously grew up in the same area and also went through the same stuff, being the same age. So it was quite funny that when we went out there. It's good.
And they're all set up now. They've got new computers, like you said, and
yes,
they're growing as well.
Still got to put UPSs in because it's in an industrial unit. Sometimes the electricity in them units isn't that good.
A bit dirty, as they call it.
Yeah. So it needs filtering just to protect the computers because they've had one or two freezes already, and that says to me the power's not going to be mint clean. So I've got a couple of UPSs off Amazon, shipped them out, and I'll be back there this week just to get those connected up.
For anyone who's wondering what dirty power is, it's where it fluctuates. It's not a steady, nice line. It's going up and down, fluctuating, and that can cause problems with electrical equipment. Yeah,
most definitely with computers, it causes all sorts of problems and causes them to reset and crash and freeze. It's a really common and easy way to damage a computer is having what you call an unclean electrical supply.
So that's interesting, actually.
It's found more in business than it's found at home. Homes tend to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Businesses not as important, so they tend to be a bit more rough and ready.
And they've also got, as I've said earlier, they've got Google Voice as well set up so that they can actually direct phone calls to the relevant team members a bit better than before.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they've gone with Google Voice, and you've been setting some of that up this morning, getting the direct lines in place, auto attendant ring groups, all that stuff, programming the phone system, but without having to use a phone system.
Yeah, it's kind of odd actually with the ring group in that we set one up over a week ago, but it never generated a number. So I deleted that ring group this morning, generated a new ring group, and within half an hour it generated an 0121 number.
Sometimes Google Voice is like that, isn't it? It just doesn't do something, and then you do it again, and it does it.
You normally get it. It's normally more happens where you get it where they're in an area where it's not. It's like just like an area that's not really a city or anything like that, just a small town somewhere or stuff like that, where it can take a lot longer to generate a number. But having a Birmingham number should be pretty much one of the quickest to get, I'd imagine. But if for some reason
I don't think we've had any problems in the past getting Birmingham numbers.
I think it was just a bug on that. I just don't think it had gone through properly on their system, and it was just waiting on pending, but all sorted now.
Yep.
I can see you've had your hair cut. I had mine cut for the second time this year too.
I just bought some clippers this time, so I can just do it myself now. It's much easier.
Well, to be fair, it must save you a lot of money as well, because you used to always have your hair cut every couple of weeks.
It's not cheap. No, you're right. A haircut now around by me, it's like £14.50 for like an average haircut. So yeah, it's not cheap at all.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to do it very often now. I can just clip it when I want.
Well, I let mine grow long and then do it, and it's twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year if the haircut is lucky.
Your hair must grow really slowly.
I do let it go relatively long though before I get it cut.
I don't know, maybe. Mine definitely goes quickly. Like mine will grow out of a hairstyle within 3 to 4 weeks. It would be done.
It's weird how it's turned grey early, but it still grows. You think the growing would slow down over time?
Yeah, it's grey, but I've still got it, and I'm happy about that. Look, I don't think you're going to suffer either. No male pattern baldness in your family, I don't think.
No, it's apparently every other. So my dad went bald, and my granddad didn't, but his granddad did. So it's every other one. It goes, but I've got a son at the moment, so
that makes sense. That makes sense because my granddad was bald and my dad isn't. And no, hang on a minute. That doesn't work. My granddad was bald. My dad isn't. I'm not.
Well, at the moment, you've
Don't
still got plenty of months.
Don't question that. Don't do that.
You've got plenty of months left in your life. So.
Well, that's true. Okay, fair enough. All right.
See what happens.
Off the topic of hair.
I got this as well. Key 4, Key Chrome mechanical keyboard. I love it.
That one. Yeah, I saw that one.
I told you to go and get one, didn't I?
Yes, and I got this one.
Oh, you went and secretly got one.
I did. It's
good.
Smaller, so I got a bit more room on my desk because I don't
got a
know
nice click.
keyboard. Pardon?
To make a nice click.
You're not going to be able to hear it.
Okay, oh, well, sort of. Only just heard it.
Yeah, the noise reduction will reduce the sound. Yes, it does. It does make a good clicking sound. It took me right back to like working on the first computer I ever worked at, Rover, at the car factory, when every keyboard was like these.
It reminded me of a computer Dad got that he never used. It was from his work back in like the late 80s or early 90s, an Amstrad, and it had a mechanical keyboard that came with it.
I think they all would have been mechanical back then, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then at some point in the 90s, they introduced the silent keyboard, which is just a bit cheap and nasty, really. Yeah,
you never got the satisfying, even if it didn't click, you never got the satisfying feel that it was inputting and stuff like that. And they all had a membrane underneath as well, didn't they, to waterproof themselves, and where every office workers would collect their food in there over time, and then turn them upside down and shake it all out and have another meal appear on their desk. All the food
I've done that plenty of times in my career with keyboards. You've gone, oh, that is disgusting.
Best one's when you get the old air compressor, spray it in there, and fires everywhere.
Yeah.
I always went for a vacuum instead. If ever someone gave me a dirty keyboard, I'd vacuum it, because why would I want to spray it everywhere? A vacuum's going to be far better.
Yeah.
I've never got those dust things. I know you're meant to use it inside the computer because it's in case the vacuum sucks something out of the computer. It never does. It does. The computer's probably poorly built if it does something.
You were meant to use them inside areas you couldn't get to in a chassis or something, and it did work.
Statics as well, static electricity and stuff like that. I'd imagine from the vacuum, if it's you don't get that on a compressed can.
The worst were years ago when I get a computer in for someone who smoked in their office, and you'd blast that, and it's just been a residue of yellow dust. Oh, it was awful.
The problem with that is it's still sticky afterwards, and your hands still smell. So
smokers' computers, like, look at the state of it. Your lungs are like this.
Get your surgeon gloves out for that one.
Absolutely.
And then finally in October, as you know, some businesses change when new management is hired.
They do.
That happened to one of our clients, where they brought on a new board and managing director and some other people who just didn't appreciate the importance of IT, didn't want to pay a fair price for our services, and opted to essentially go it alone, leave us and go it alone with their with nothing adequate to support them at all.
They did go with another company, but they went with a one-man band. And all right, there's only two of us, so you might as well, what's that? Double a one-man band. But the issue was they went cheap. Everything was about price. They said it wasn't. The owner of the business said it wasn't, but it was. The person he put in charge, cheap toll, and we're not the cheapest out there, never ever will be, because I think everybody knows you get what you pay for in life, and the cheapest of everything is never the best. Never.
And that was all down to this new MD who just didn't value the importance of IT. Couldn't see any reason.
I told you that the first time I met him. I'm like, I don't like this guy, because I think he's going to cause problems long term for us, because he doesn't give a monkeys. Because I heard him effing and jeffing about how passwords are a load of waste of space, and he wished the IT people just did whatever he told them and shut up and got rid of passwords. And I'm just like, nah.
So we were quite happy when they opted to leave, because the last couple of months dealing with them have been not great. They've been very dishonest in the way they approached everything.
Well, the classic one is that people often have the inability to say, you know what, guys, it's been all right, but I've decided to do something else and I'm going to leave, and I'd like to give notice on this date of my contract. Thank you very much. Which is fine. It can happen. And that's fine if someone does, but no one ever does. No, they lie to you and say, yeah, we'd like you to do a proposal. We'd like you to do this. Or they may not even say a thing at all and just intend on leaving anyway. And it's very annoying when, in a sense, because it just wants some honesty. You know, I don't mind if someone goes. That's their prerogative to choose what they want to do, but don't mess me about. Yeah,
it got to the point where they were leaving. We all knew they were leaving, but they just weren't giving notice. So much so that I had to give them their notice that they're to us. I basically notified ourselves that they'll be notifying on this date, and told them that's the day they'll be leaving, to finally get something done, because it was just dragging on with two IT companies involved, us doing professional stuff, and then the other guy doing his thing.
Yeah, they kind of went for the break fixer. He said he was going to do what we do, which is provide a continuous service like lots of other companies do. But it was quite clear, really, it was break fix, really, in disguise. Like, you call me when there's a problem and I fix it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole reason why they don't get IT, because you don't have a problem to start off in the first place. And they were just going backwards. And they'll have plenty of problems now for them to fix.
Well, that's right. They've chose Microsoft, so they'll be kept busy.
Going to our new videos anyway on our YouTube channel. We only did one video last month, but we got a reason for that, in that was half term. And also, you'd been ill for a few weeks.
I have, yeah, absolutely. I've been ill on and off since the start of October with some kind of gastroenteritis thing, which I go to the doctors tomorrow to get my lab results. So clearly something is up, and I'll find out what it is.
Yeah, and but because you're back, you've already made one video that's gone live this month. But last month, there's only one video, and it's how to schedule an email to send later in Gmail. A simple video for quite a handy and useful tool that some people don't know about.
And I've also got to get glasses that don't reflect, because we've hit the problem now that my glasses are a terrible reflection, and it's really hard to stop a computer screen reflecting on your glasses when you're recording a computer screen. It's almost nigh on impossible. You can do anything about it.
Yeah, it's true. When that light is shining brightly through your window, it's almost like a pair of headlights on your head. The light shining back.
It's reflecting off this. The best I can do is go for the anti-glare glasses, which is what I've gone for, and that'll be the best it'll be. There's nothing else you can do, except obviously put contacts in, but you don't tend to have contacts for like reading glasses.
Or what you could do, one of our clients is insisting that you do have laser eye surgery.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I don't know. I haven't bothered to follow that up. I asked that question, when I was at an optician. I asked the optician, not the people in the front house, the actual clinician, and they said no.
I think you can do it.
Why would the optician say it wasn't advised?
Because I think it might be because they're behind the times in technology and where it's gone in eye. Because we see all the developments that take place in eye, and they're just not aware of it correctly, or they'd be misinformed.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they have. Maybe you're right.
I actually have a friend who had very short-sighted eyes, and he had laser eye treatment to restore his vision. And he says it's 2020. He says the only problem he has is nighttime. He sees a bit more of a halo off like car lights and stuff like that after the operation, but nothing that affects what he's doing or driving.
Oh no, when I was married, James, I took my wife to have hers done. She had terrible vision, took her glasses off. She couldn't see more than like a foot in front. All her life had been like that. And she went and had the surgery, and it transformed her life, because no more contact lenses, no more glasses. She could, and I went through the process. They have to scalpel it and laser it, and I was there. So I've seen it work, and how brilliant, what a difference it made to her life to not have that problem anymore.
Anyway, we'll move on to the assistance and support statistics to finish off this log. They're pretty good. To be fair, actually, they weren't as good as last month's, but there were 68 subscribers who got in contact.
Yeah.
Out of those, 50 requested assistance, where they want to know how to do something better, and the remaining 18 asked for support, so where something's not working as it should. 45 of the subscribers who sent a message to us received a response and got back to their work within 5 minutes. 21 received a reply and returned to their work within 30 minutes, and the remaining 2 took us slightly longer, between 30 to 60 minutes to resolve. 95.6% of subscribers contacted us through our unique instant messaging service. 2 opted for email, which is a slower way of doing it, and 1 sent a message through our website chat gadget, because they'd forgotten their password to access Google Workspace. So the only way they could contact us was via our website chat gadget, which they got an instant reply on. But we have now spoken to them, and they're going to start using Bitwarden to manage their passwords. And then finally, 8 subscribers wouldn't have had to get in contact with us if they'd had regular training on aspects of Google Workspace and other things on their computer. That number is actually getting slightly lower most months, the amount of people that need training. So people are learning, it would seem.
Good. Hopefully so. We do try. We do try and help people learn rather than just do it for them.
Well, we brought a lot of content out just from the videos, the blog and everything, all the guides and all that kind of stuff. So there's always stuff there to learn and find out about.
There's always something to learn, absolutely.
Oh, and then we've got your TikTok channel, which I missed out on the new videos, which you're still updating.
Yeah, I don't put one out every day as much as I used to. I was struggling a little bit, you might say, with sort of inspiration on what to do. It's very...
Videographer's block.
yeah, it's hard sometimes, just to keep coming up with stuff that to put out there. That if it's not related to, say, the news of the day or something like that, it is more difficult.
Yep. But there you go. We're still on TikTok anyway for the time being.
Yeah.
That's it for this month, and we'll be back again next month. And let's see how this transcription has worked on this
Yes.
video call. It's a new feature.
The transcription is.
It's a new feature on Google Meet, and it's just activated on our account. So we're going to hopefully see how good it is. But that's it, and we'll speak to you in a month's time.
Yeah, see you at the end of November or early December if we record it then, I guess. Yeah, December.
Yeah, you're getting those months right now. You're getting good at it.